everybody, welcome. This is a new thing that we're going to do, well I'm going to do. We'll see how it goes, but hopefully it will cover a little bit more in-depth discussions within the community, things that I see going on that maybe aren't worthy of a big massive discussion, but that we can shed a little bit of light on and help everybody understand the little nuances within the community that maybe most people wouldn't see. And hopefully this will be an education for everybody, myself included. You never know what I might come up with. And they'll provide something extra to the Muscle Law Talks and the podcasts that we obviously have. Remember, you can check all this out on Facebook and Twitter and check out what's going on in the world. But for now, we're going to start on a little bit of a heavy note and look at the case of how both communities come together. So within the sphere of disability in the community at large, there are almost like two subsections. We have the community that are disabled, like myself, and then we have what I would probably loosely call allies, which is people like my mum, like my caregivers, like my nephew who's sitting beside me watching me record and he's fist pumping the air mentioned. All those sorts of things all come together. And that's a separate community from my own, in many senses of the word, as they experience this world very different to the way I do. And over the past couple of days, there has been quite a debate about how we interact with each other, owing to an article that's going around about a young 14-year-old who's decided that she would rather not receive any further medical intervention, and she has SMA like me. And I know people who know her and know her family, and because of that I've stayed really silent on the matter, and I don't want to talk about whether her decision is right or not, because that's not for me to say. What I do want to talk about, however, is how people interact with each other when they're debating it. So there are two sides to this, but even those two sides have multiple layers to them, and both disabled people and our allies are very much strongly opinionated about this area, and rightly so. It's a discussion that needs to happen, but I don't think it needs to happen around a specific case, which is why I won't comment on it. However, what I have witnessed over the past few days is a lot of bickering within the community. Adults with neuromuscular conditions have posted what I think is quite well-grounded, well-reasoned and restrained responses to things that they think are maybe ableist in some way, or maybe go against what they believe is right in the disability community. And we live in a society where no one person is ever going to be 100% right. Everybody's going to get something wrong, and even I've got things wrong. And it's important that we remember that the adults who don't have the condition but have a close connection to disability or neuromuscular conditions are aware that people like me have a real lived experience of it, and it's important that we remember that and go with it. So when you see someone posting something quite reasonable and well-reasoned, albeit at odds with what the other person is saying, a clash of opinions isn't always a bad thing. I think it's through debate that we actually get anywhere in life. Society wasn't built to all be one happy, harmonious place, and when we want it to be that, it's never going to be that way. So when we get to the point where we have an adult with a neuromuscular condition saying something that is valid to their experience and their reality, but that's at odds with someone else's reality, what do you do? And unfortunately, over the past few days, what I've noticed is that they delete, or they attack, or they go on some sort of tirade to completely tear apart the other person's idea. And that's okay. But surely with such a mature debate happening, we need to be mature about how we go about it. And that's where the problem lies. We shouldn't be deleting other people's comments just because we don't agree with them. We shouldn't be tearing another person apart just because we don't agree with their reality. And we certainly shouldn't be doing it amongst each other. And that's my issue right now. I'm seeing a lot of that going on both sides. Both disabled people are tearing one another apart, but they're also tearing apart the allies, and vice versa. The allies are tearing one another apart, and they're also tearing disabled people apart. The fact is, my experience is very similar to someone else's, but to another person may be completely different. My reality is only my reality. It doesn't apply to anybody else, and I think that's what we forgot. So how do we move forward? There are going to be times when debates like this come up. It's happened twice now in quick succession. Once with a young child And now with a young adolescent, both living with neuromuscular conditions, and they both have decided that they don't want that anymore. Unfortunately, the young child has now passed away, and this other young person may choose that same path and has indicated her intention to do so. But the important thing for us all to remember is their experience is not mine, and you should all remember that. And I think we should all share our experiences at times like this. It's really important to do so, because you never know where a person might get a little spark that they need to move forward, and that's what it's all about. It's about moving forward, about finding some sort of resolution. I myself spent today at hospital getting bloods too, because I'm in extortion amounts of pain right now. But it's important to respond to it in the right way, and as usual I've responded to pain by getting on with it. I've never known any other way to do it. For other people it's not so easy. For me sometimes it's not so easy, but it's really important that we start looking at ourselves and how we communicate with one another, and communicate in a way that doesn't tear somebody else apart. At the end of the day, we are all on the same boat. We all want largely the same thing. We want one another to be happy, and happiness is not an objective thing, it's subjective. And I might be in pain today, but I'm still happy. I'm still moving forward. And I think we all should try, at least, to remember the other side isn't necessarily wrong, and we are not necessarily right. And through continual debate and shared experiences, we'll maybe eventually get to a point where the middle ground isn't so bad, and hopefully we'll eventually get there. So yeah, thanks for joining me. Hopefully next time I'll have a bit of a lighter topic. And yeah, tune in to Muscle On Facebook and on Twitter. Remember to check out Muscle On Talks, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!